This is not just another golf podcast. This is Golf Underground. This is Golf Underground. We just happen to be the third funniest podcast in golf. Anyway, we interview PGA Tour pros, Hall of Fame athletes, rock stars, business leaders. Sure, we talk about golf, but we have fun. All right, let's do it. Welcome to Golf Underground. Now your hosts, Wardo, Sully, and MLB Hall of Famer George Brett.
Thanks for joining the Golf Underground. Now, the Golf Underground is brought to you by Star Companies, KC. Experience a more energy-efficient and comfortable home with Star's insulation services. Regain Functional Medicine. Feel better, function better, move better, and look better. Regal Distributing, specializing in the distribution of food service and professional cleaning supplies to a variety of industries. Cowell Insurance, providing brokerage and risk management services for over 25 years. Sono Orthopedics, care plans backed by research and clinical results tailored perfectly to individual needs. Bob Sight Ford and Bob Sight Independence Kia, where you'll score a double eagle on your next car or truck. Sheridan's Unforked, eating good and feeling good. Lewisburg Ford, nobody sells more F-150s than Lewisburg Ford. And Celebrity Greens, put a custom PGA caliber putting green in your backyard for the ultimate golf experience. Now, onto the program.
Okay, welcome to Golf Underground. That's just Kansas City. We can't use the big corporate name anymore. So, gentlemen, this is like a reunion. Well, I mean,
what was the name before?
Did you hear the corporation, the one out of Bristol, Connecticut? It's got 4 letters to it.
Yeah.
Well, they called 810 Radio.
Get out of here.
And said, hey, they're not really, they're ESPN Kansas City. They're not ESPN. And so it's a little deceptive.
Don't they have bigger things to worry about?
I guess
Well,
not.
I guess when you have, how many million visitors do we have now?
of
The
visitors.
Lisa Carney show kind of threw everybody for a loop.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it going.
Yeah, let's get it going. So, hey, it's a U.S. Open week preview show right here, Wardo. You know a little something about the U.S. Open because you
How not to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you were this close. You were this close to making the U.S. Open, which is this week. Tell us about the journey.
I don't know if I would say this close, but I went to the local qualifying here. I've gotten through 3 times in my life to sectionals. I went to Oakwood, and I played on a really tough spring day. North wind, played okay. Somehow got through with 74. 76 played off. And went to Woodmont Country Club up in outside Baltimore, where I went in 2019 before COVID for the sectional. I went there because it's a tough golf course, and I knew, I don't know, 3 to 5 under is probably going to get through, and I just didn't play well enough, didn't hit it well enough, and there's great players. At that site, there were 60 golfers, I believe, for 4 spots. Couple PGA Tour guys, couple Korn Ferry guys, and a couple live players. So,
Didn't they have more than usual in that?
That site, yeah. I mean,
I heard just all.
they had 10,000 people played in local qualifying, and I think 650 or 800 or so made it to sectionals. So
you lost in the sectionals.
I lost in the sectionals.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You played in the local qualifying here. You've played in the Watson Challenge, the local tournament we have here. Can you say that without getting sued? Mm-hmm. The Watson Challenge. I don't know if Tom's going to sue us or
Tom
not.
might sue you.
You know, who knows? No, he's not going to sue me. He won't sue you guys either. But were you a little more nervous at the last stage to get into the U.S. Open than you were in anything else?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know.
Really?
I was nervous when you were there when we were going down at Oakwood number 10, nervous. So I don't think I was any more nervous. And I think, you know, the people that say they're not nervous on a stage similar to that or wherever, I think they're crazy. to say they're not nervous. I mean, were you ever not nervous during?
I was nervous every game I ever played
Yeah.
till the first pitch.
Right.
So you'd get to the first tee, your heart's beating a little bit. Take a deep breath, swing. Okay, you hit a good drive. Okay, let's go play golf. Mm-hmm. Is that what it was? Yeah, so how'd you start off? What'd you do on the first hole? Out of curiosity, because I haven't talked to you since really talked to you.
These are real questions.
So
I snap hooked it.
Actually, so the first hole's awesome. You tee off from the putting green, so there's all these members and people around, and so you're they just throw the tees back on the putting green, and they turn this 420-yard par 4 dogleg left into a 440 or 60-yard par 4. I pull it left into the trees. I am absolutely dead. And I'm looking at Ronnie, who's caddying for me. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to punch the 5. And he was kind of worried that it might get up too much, but I needed to make sure I got it above the grass. And I literally hit it just under the tree limb, right on the back edge, chipped it down to a foot.
Wow. And you said, we're off, boys.
And then I go to 2. 2's the hardest hole out there. It's a 235-yard par 3. And the pins there's this big false swale. And the pin's tucked left. And if I missed it left there in 19, remember, and had to work hard to make 4. So I just hit it kind of short right. I'm on the fringe. I've got 40, 45 feet up the hill, and I can it, and hits the flag. So I'm off to a heater start, and then kind of make a average par on the next hole, and just kind of sputter along. And then I started hitting it crooked. I think I hit a bad tee ball in the water on 5 or something, and just kind of sputtered along and just didn't get anything really going. So.
Who'd you play with? Were they good? Obviously, they were good players, but did anybody shoot good?
No, I think I was low in my group. They struggled, but in the practice round, I played with a guy named Travis Smith, Smyth. I think it's pronounced Smythe from Aussie actually, and he played in the first 3 live events. He plays on Asian Tour. And the ponytail, good-looking, good dude, whatever. And but he said he was part of the team that finished second. So he cashed some good little checks. When he was playing live, and then obviously some of the good players or the well-known players started going. So he's playing Asian Tour.
Who were some of the bigwigs who came out of that sectional?
I don't think any of the names, I didn't recognize any of the names that actually got through. Mark Leishman, who plays live, was at that site. The Grayson Murray guy who won the Korn Ferry in Kansas City was at that site. Both of those guys didn't get through. Ben Coles, who I think is leading the money list, who came on the show.
He was on our show.
He actually lost in a playoff. I didn't see what happened.
Oh no!
So he was.
But
one
he
of the
still
guys.
got in, right?
No, he lost in the.
Oh, a playoff to be the last
in.
guy. Oh my God!
And he was my pick. The very last thing we did at the live Korn Ferry event was I had to pick one winner of that event. It was Ben Coles. Good guy. These guys were just hot shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they were.
So this place, Woodmont, is the best golf course I have ever played for. A course that you don't know the name. It's not Oakmont, it's not Pinehurst, it's not Pine Valley. We all know those names. This golf course is hands down. I would play it every day.
Caves Valley is in Baltimore. I played Caves Valley.
This place is just 36 holes of tough, hard, but right in front of you. Good greens, good green complexes, tough holes, but there's no hole where you walk up there and you're like, this is terrible. And they have an incredible, I think it's a Jewish club that 2,000 members or something.
Yeah.
So
I heard it was great.
When I was checking in for my practice round, Mr. Goldstein was asking for a bucket, a bowl of soup and a bucket hat.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
And
Well,
a sandwich.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well done. I mean, that's. I mean, you come so close. Twice you did a few years ago, and. I mean, you do the best you can. -6 won it in that, didn't it? Or was it -4?
I think, was it 4 or 5? Yeah,
it was
it
a lot.
wasn't.
Nobody
it was good. Ran away with it.
I mean, it's so that was competitive.
How about your boy Jeff Overton? Did he try to get in?
I don't know. I doubt he did the local. He may have done the local, but he did not qualify. At least I haven't seen his name. But some of the storylines, some of these people that have qualified, and there's quite a few amateurs that are in the field, good college players. There's going to be some, one or two guys that breaks through, makes the cut that we're not used to seeing. So we can get into that later.
Have you played LA Country Club before?
I've never played LACC. I'm sure you've played it 112 times.
No, not 112, but a lot.
Have you? What's your take?
It's lovely. They took out, I'm not kidding you, 1,000 trees over the last 10 years. Before, everything was tree lined, just tree lined. Now you can get up to one point, you can see 10 holes. It's beautiful.
Wow.
It is absolutely beautiful. And Lionel Richie lives on, I think, the 4th hole. And you can see his house from 10 holes. Where before, you could see it from the 4th hole only.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time you get there, your caddy says, yeah, that's Lionel Richie's house. You get 2 holes later. Yeah, that's Lionel. I know. I've seen it.
Does he golf?
I don't know. Not in our group.
Well, I think when we had Darius Rucker on, he said he golfed a little bit with
Lionel Richie?
Yeah, with old Lionel Richie. Well, it's par 70.
Then he golfs.
It's a par 70 golf course yet again.
Yeah.
And so, there's what it says there's 3 par 5s, 5 par 3s. They have a 290-yard par 11th, which is
Par 11.
it's
11th hole.
11th hole, which I mean,
It's a par 3, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, par 3 downhill.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Beautiful hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, listen, beyond the U.S. Open, so it's going to be a little wacky with the whole live thing. I mean, so much has happened in golf over the past 2 weeks, right? Even while the U.S. Open stuff's going on. And NBC's got to broadcast this thing, and they got to be freaking out, wondering, how do we handle it? Right? Because all the press questions, like they had John Rahm, I think it was maybe yesterday, might have even been today, and you could tell these guys are just nagged.
Yeah.
They got sold out. And how about our boy Brandel Chambly, who came on our program?
Right.
How about Freddie, who came on our program? And they were loyal dudes, right? Jay Monahan, these guys, this is the right thing to do. They look like knuckleheads.
Yeah.
The PGA made them look like knuckleheads. And they got to be pissed. I know Brandel, he made some comments just saying this is a tragic day.
Well, Rory's got to be pissed because he was kind of the face of the PGA Tour, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was the face.
And I think from looking at it and kind of watching, I think he's trying to agree and say, yeah, but in the back of his mind, he's got to just be boiling, just knowing how much he stood up for the tour. But I think the thing is the tour, I think that they didn't want to have to do the discovery and open their books. And obviously neither did the Saudis. And so I think, I don't know. I see this thing that they'll probably try to unwind live at some point here at the end of the year and make it one central tour. I will not be surprised if somehow there's a team component to this, or you're playing for the Fire Rockets and all of that, but
and you're wearing shorts.
And you might, but and who knows, maybe down the road, one big Nike or Adidas, whomever comes in and every player is wearing the same brand.
It's kind of like Major League Baseball. They have a contract.
Yep.
Every uniform's made. You got to. There was one year I was in spring training and I was wearing Nike sweatshirt underneath, like one of those breathable shirts under there. And Nike wasn't a member. They weren't the official undergarment of Major League Baseball and part of the uniform. And they wouldn't let me wear it. It was like last year's model. And I think New Balance or somebody came in and I was wearing last year's and it had that little swoosh right there.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you got to cut that out. So they got some scissors and cut it out.
Before the game?
No, it was spring training. It was practice. I'm talking about practice, man.
Practice?
You're talking about practice.
Talking about motherfucking practice, George?
Practice.
Damn.
They're talking about practice.
Well, I want to know.
But if somebody takes your picture, or you do an interview, and you're wearing the Nike swoosh, and New Balance has that contract, they're going to get pissed.
Well, who's the nerd who saw you on the field and said, "Psst, hey, George Brett's wearing a little..."
No, it was our traveling. It was our guy, Jeff Davenport, my guy. He said, "George, you can't wear that shirt. It's last year's shirt. You got to wear one of the new ones." So I had to cut it out. I still have it at home.
You know what you
The
are?
next time we do a show, I'm going to bring it, and you'll see the Nike swoosh is cut out.
Maybe you can,
like
hey,
this.
wear that
I can
underneath
wear my
under your
Fauci
Fauci.
We Trust shirt. Yeah, that you gave me.
Well, so I want to talk more about this Live Tour stuff because these people these guys don't know anything. All right, no one's telling them shit.
They don't know anything. I've talked to a couple players, and I don't think the players that have passed up on the opportunity are too happy with kind of where things are. And, I think some of the guys are saying, well, we'll get paid, but they haven't gotten paid, right? And so these guys that took all the dough on the front end went over there. Well, now I'm not saying they're going to welcome them with open arms, but they will be allowed back in some capacity. There might be a penalty or something along those lines. So I think I don't think anyone knows at this point. There's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of uncertainty, and I mean, we'll see how it all irons out.
Well, you played with Woodland last Saturday.
Huh?
Last Saturday. He left Sunday or Monday to go to L.A.
Sunday.
He left Sunday to go to L.A. They had made this announcement prior. They had talked to him about maybe coming over to live. He said, no, right?
Yep.
I was playing golf today with some friends, and they said all the guys that said no, they're going to be made whole somehow, somewhere down the line. Do you think that's going to happen?
I don't know how you quantify that, right?
Well, what they were offered, maybe if what he was offered, say $50 million or $75 million, they might say, "Hey, we'll give you $30 million."
It'll still be less than the Live guys.
So here's how they're going to get made whole. I think it's going to be obviously they're playing for more. They're going to play for even more prize money than they did this year, which was a massive bump up from last year. However, even if you miss cuts or don't play well, that you're not guaranteed that money. So, I mean, you can maybe see there's been talk there. Who knows? Maybe the guys that didn't go, maybe they have some sort of equity in this new entity. I don't know, but I just think there's just a lot of uncertainty, and I think that they're gonna have to somehow figure out a way to quote unquote penalize the guys that went and reward the guys that stayed and that were loyal. But yeah,
I don't think I don't know how you're going to do it because I understand the decision was made by like three guys. Greg Norman wasn't in that room,
Right.
no,
right?
That Dunn guy.
great, yeah,
Right.
The Dunn guy.
Yeah, and so
Dunn, Monahan, and the Prince are those three guys did it?
I don't know.
which is
it had to
crazy
be.
because Dunn, his firm,
Lost all his firm
in
in 9/11. And he would have been there, but he was playing golf.
Isn't that crazy? It's nuts. You're not going to make them. You're not going to get the PGA guys ever happy unless you pay them what they would have made had they left. Like Woody's got to come out with the 50. What were they going to pay Rory? Hundreds of millions. And Rahm was this close. I think what prompted this was Rahm was about to jump.
That's what I had heard in rumblings that Rahm was going right out the day after the PGA.
Yeah.
And I think it was the discovery that both parties were going to spend way too much money there. I think it was maybe another player, a handful of players looking at going, and then, them finally coming to it. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's a tough deal. Everybody was shocked. So
All right. So what do you do with Jay Monahan? So I understand he's going to be running the gig. But I got to think the Live Tour guys hate him. So now your new boss.
I don't know if the PGA Tour guys like him either.
So no one likes him. We know John Rahm and the others don't like him because right. You look at the quotes from Rahm. He's like, I don't. You like management to communicate better. I have no clue. You have to trust your management. Right now, I'm not sure we trust our management. Of course, I'm rewording that a little bit. But if no one likes him, he's got to go. And I think Norman's probably got to go too, right? George, if this happened in baseball, right? If there was the side league, and we talked about this all while this was kind of happening, but let's say a new league developed, and you even talked about, there's the Japan League or whatever. So the Saudis created a league, and had you jumped, you could have made a shitload of money, but you're a loyal MLB guy. Let's just throw this into baseball, and you stayed home as one of the old school dudes. And these average guys are going out making shitloads of money. There's some good ones too, but some of your buddies.
240, guys hitting 240, going over there and making twice as much as you are.
Yes, and so
guaranteed.
All right, so I want you to play the PGA side of this, but with the MLB spin.
Can I swear on? I can swear on this show.
You can't.
I'd say that's bullshit. I ain't buying it. That's what I would say. There was a lot of times that we went on strike. Baseball players, when I was playing, I didn't want to go on strike.
Yeah.
But the union head and his advisory council, his executive council, they all thought it was a good idea. And I remember one time Jeff Montgomery was our player rep, and he went to the meetings and he said, hey, the Kansas City Royals don't think it's necessary for us to go on strike over this issue. And the advisory board or the executive council for the Players Association basically said, shut the fuck up. We don't care what the Kansas City Royals think. We ended up going on strike.
Oh, really?
So
amazing.
And looking back on that,
it's absolutely nuts.
all right. So did it in the long run, or maybe even the short term? Was it a good decision? Did you guys win as players as a result of it?
Well, put it this way, Sully. I don't even know what it was about. So how important was it?
Wow.
And was it a win or a loss? I don't know. Yeah. But you remember things.
Yeah.
If it was really important to me, I would have remembered,
right.
but it wasn't important to me.
You know who it was important to? The fans.
Yeah.
The fans.
And how many of them said,
pissed.
I'm never going to another baseball game as long as I'm alive.
It took a while
to
get them back. They were like, screw this. Well, I mean, what do you, it drove them nuts. Mm-hmm. And so this feels weirdly, people are more interested in this than when that was going on. And I was a huge baseball fan at the time, right? So it meant a lot to me. Just no baseball, right? Because it was summer, and what the hell are you going to watch?
What do you do in the summertime?
Yeah, right now it's kind of like, me not being able to watch the Royals because they're on freaking Bally, and I'm not spending $4.95 a month, okay?
Bally went under.
Well,
They're bankrupt.
Well, how the hell do I watch my games?
I have Spectrum. That's all I know. I get them on Channel 59. That's all I can tell you.
Channel 59.
But I heard Bally's bankrupt. And some teams don't even do it anymore, but they're still broadcasting games in Kansas City.
Yeah,
I have no idea how that stuff works.
Yeah. Well, Greg Norman, what's going to happen to him? They're going to just shoo him away. Did the Saudis?
Yeah. They already shooed him away, haven't they?
Not yet. Not yet. Huh? Well, they didn't allow him in the meeting, right? So can you imagine
how much is he? He's going to walk away. He's going to walk out with his billfold full of money. Don't you think?
Yeah, and I think he'll probably sue the shit out of him also. Right? There's going to be so many lawsuits as a result of this. I don't know. To me, it's fun and interesting to talk about. I mean, why not? Right? It's sort of fun. And the guys like Woody are going to make more money if they perform. So I don't know. So I don't think anyone loses other than maybe sponsors.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Black cherry. Look at that. High noon black cherry. I've never had one before.
ADD.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, squirrel.
Commercial break.
All right, and a commercial break. All right, so hey,
not brought to you by High Noon yet.
Not
brought to you by Next Gen Cattle.
Yes, baby.
Whoa,
bringing table stakes right to your dining room.
Yeah, okay, you're on a Golf Underground, ESPN, Kansas City. Hey guys, Sully here to tell you about my friends at Regal Distributing. Now, for more than 60 years, Regal Distributing Company has been helping customers grow their business by providing the right food service and professional cleaning supplies to a variety of industries. And man, do they do it right. Because they're smart. Which means they're able to offer expertise and in-depth product knowledge that helps customers like you think about your business in a whole new way. And what's the outcome? Well, they're going to help you improve your efficiency. They're going to reduce your cost. And they're going to help you maintain your quality. And all by providing consistently excellent service. So, to learn more, check out Regal Distributing. National reach with a local touch. Go to their website at getregal.com. That's getregal.com.
Hey, Brian Sullivan of Golf Underground with my favorite orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Kevin Whitty from Sano Orthopedics. Hey, Doc, golf season's over. My back is killing me. I know it's football season, so you got a lot of kids coming in, blown ACLs, all sorts of body parts with problems. And then, of course, those baseball players. I know you fix a lot of elbows. Why is Sano Orthopedics the absolute best sports medicine orthopedic group in Kansas City?
Well, if you want to see the guys in town who've had the best orthopedic fellowship training in sports medicine, including training with Dr. James Andrews and Dr. Larry Lemack, come see us. We individualize patients' plans to get them back to that activity and that sport that they love, and we actually care and listen to our patients and follow up with them and make sure that they're getting the results they need.
Okay, and so the three things that separate you: number one, best training; number two, you specialize in getting people on that field; number three, you're actually listen. Where can I learn more? Because you got me all in, and I don't really want to get fixed, but it's time.
At SanoOrthopedics.com, 816-525-2840.
Hi, this is George Brett, Hall of Fame baseball player, and I've been playing golf for over 35 years. Hitting the ball far was never my problem, but the closer I got to the greens, that's when my problems began. When I wanted a golf practice area in my backyard, I called Celebrity Greens. They are the industry leader in custom-built synthetic golf greens. These championship caliber, low-maintenance greens roll great, react like real bent grass, and hold chip shots that check and spin. I absolutely love mine, not only in Kansas City, but also in Arizona. Call the pros at Celebrity Greens at 1-888-507-7960 or visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Practice like the pros, or people like me that want to be pros, right in your own backyard.
Hey, Brian Sullivan, Golf Underground, with a little tip for you. If you're looking to buy a new Ford, you have to check out my buddy, Jason Gudenkoff at Lewisburg Ford. They've been saving Midwest Ford buyers thousands of bucks for over 40 years because they do business the right way. They sell everything, check this out, for $50 over invoice. That's simple and cheap. And they win a lot of awards. In fact, they won Ford's President's Award 17 times. That's the top Ford award. And they only give it to dealers with superior customer satisfaction in sales and service. So they know how to take care of customers better than anybody. Now, what these guys know how to do also, keep this in mind, sell trucks. Lewisburg Ford has sold more F-150s than any other Ford dealership in greater Kansas City. That's 2 years running. And last year, they were the number one F-150 sales leader in the entire state of Kansas. So, no hassle. $50 over invoice pricing, unparalleled customer satisfaction, and a huge selection. That's a perfect recipe for selling trucks. So, check out all their inventory and prices online at lewisburgford.com or give them a call at 816-444-2300.
New golf clubs, a big screen TV to watch the U.S. Open, or maybe even a new golf cart that I've got my eye on.
No matter how you choose to spend the savings, if you're looking to put a dent in your monthly heating and cooling bills, the answer may be right over your head. If your attic isn't insulated properly, you're missing out on a prime opportunity to cut costs. Call the certified energy experts at Star Companies, Inc., 816-353-2160 for a free estimate to learn how they can help you save money. 816-353-2160 or visit Star.
Guys, as the male body ages, testosterone levels steadily decline, and your bodies become increasingly unable to produce healthy levels of the primary male hormone testosterone. At Regain Functional Medicine, we can help you regain your quality of life with testosterone replacement therapy. TRT improves brain function, sleep cycles, heart health, performance, and overall body composition so you can feel better, function better, move better, and look better. Visit us today at ifeelmuchbetter.com. Regain Functional Medicine, with locations in Lawrence and Leawood. Regain is better.
Hey, Brian Sullivan here, and I've got a tip for you. You've got to head to Unforked. It's an amazing restaurant. What I like about these guys is they promise to buy and support seasonal, local ingredients first. And I love the fact that they source from smaller, family, GAP certified, or organic farms, prime-going regions, artists and producers. All I'm getting at is, if you like fresh stuff, Unforked is the place to be. And like they say it, fork or no fork, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality, socially responsible ingredients possible. And not to mention, it's delicious. So whether you're out south or downtown, stop by Unforked for a delicious and healthy meal. Sheridan's Unforked, honest, clean food.
Cowell Insurance Services is your leading program administrator for workers' compensation. They're dedicated to meeting the unique challenges of the insurance industry. and assisting employers in reducing their costs. CIS has provided insurance, claim, and loss control services to various industries, including trucking, construction, retail convenience stores, and healthcare, as well as public entities for over 30 years. They work with both retail agents and industry clients, or a combination of the two. If you're tired of fighting the rising costs of premiums and claims, give Cowell Insurance Services a call. Their dedicated staff is ready to find you the best insurance option at the most competitive price. They can help to define or enhance your safety program in order to move you in the right direction in reducing your claim and premium costs. Contact Cowell Insurance Services today, 816-214-4070.
Hey, Brian Sullivan from the Golf Underground here with a little good news. And that good news is that even double-digit handicappers like me can occasionally make a double eagle. All right, maybe not on a golf course, but even guys like me can score when buying a new car or truck. I'm talking about 2 stores, 2 brothers, and 4 generations, treating customers just like family. I'm talking about our buddies at Bob Sight Ford and Bob Sight Independence Kia. With these guys, you'll always score 2 under, with double the inventory and double the customer satisfaction. That's the Bob Sight Double Eagle. Now, Bob Sight offers a wide selection of vehicles and promise to make the car buying process as quick and as hassle-free as possible. Now, whether you have poor credit, no credit, or maybe a first-time car buyer, you can trust Bob Sight Ford, and Bob Sight Independence Kia will get you into the car or truck you choose with professionalism and attention to your needs. So go visit our buddies at bobsight.com, but only if you're looking for a vehicle that makes you feel like a U.S. Open champion.
CompaniesKC.com.
All right, welcome back, Golf Underground. Wardo, Sully, and George. It's like a family reunion. I'm like with cousin
Been a long
George.
time.
It's been a long time. A lot has happened. You know, this. I'm happy. You know, some small part of me thought, my God, is the Golf Underground dead? It's not dead. It's never been healthy.
Resurrected.
Right. I mean, you're like Jay Monahan. I'm like Greg Norman, and you're like a Saudi prince. All right, listen, at the break, you got all excited about the Canadian Open.
Oh, my God.
Why are you so excited about a Canadian win the Canadian Open?
I wasn't paying any attention to it, and all of a sudden I turned it on Sunday. And the announcers are going crazy, and they had this one hole, I think it was like 15 or 14. It was a par 3, and they try to make it like the Phoenix Open, where they had the things, and everybody's banging on the thing, and I'm going, well, you can't top the 16th at TPC Soccer, Scottsdale. Right. You can't do it. And then the next hole I watched, and I didn't watch any Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and I just flipping channels. I said, let me see what's going on in the PGA. They had this guy, Nick Taylor, I think his name was, and he's Canadian. And he shot 75 the first round, and then like 63. And then like 65, and then he was winning, then he was losing, and then he birdied 17 and 18 to go into a playoff in Canada. Now, the last guy, Canadian, to win this tournament, the Canadian Open, was like 50 years ago or something. And so he
69.
69. So how long ago was that?
Well, I don't know.
Well, that's longer.
It's longer. First Canadian in 69 years to win his national Open.
He comes up to the par 3, and this tournament, I think, is just outside Toronto. And they had massive galleries. And they get up, and next thing you know, all the Canadians up there, they're singing the national anthem as this guy comes up.
Oh, yeah.
I got goosebumps.
Did you?
And the guy hits a good shot. I don't remember what happens, but he birdies 17, birdies 18. And the putt on 18 to get in the playoff, it was kind of going, and it was turning left a little bit, and it was almost Tiger-esque where it stopped on the 16th green. It just kind of barely trickled in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, nice. On the clock,
Yep.
And then he gets in a playoff with, who was he in the playoff with?
Fleetwood, no?
Yeah, Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And they play 18, then 18, then 9 and 18. And 18, the last time they played 18, par 5, and he hits kind of a drive in the rough, hits a great shot to the front of the green, and makes a 72-foot eagle putt to win. And it was, I had goosebumps. My wife does not watch golf, Sully, and we were in the kitchen preparing dinner because my kids, Sunday night, the kids always come over on Sundays. Lucky. And we're preparing, and I had it on, and I was going out in the back barbecue, and I had the TV on by the grill. I'd come back in, I'd watch it. Next thing you know, my wife's watching.
Really?
And she was pulling for the Canadians so bad because it's such a story, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, he makes that putt. All these guys, all the Canadians, Mike Weir, Hadwin, all of them, they're all standing there watching the playoffs. Yeah. And then they show Hadwin charging out to the green after the putt goes in for Eagle to win. And some cop just blindsides
killed him
and tackles him. I mean,
he's spraying
champagne. And Brett Veets watching that. Yeah. You want that guy as your middle linebacker in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's good security, that one.
Oh, my God, it was unbelievable. But it was one of the funnest tournaments that I've watched all year.
So that's interesting.
And everybody was talking about it on Monday. Everybody.
I know. And what's wild to me is as I watched the crowds, of course, you're making the analogy to the waste management, where there's hundreds of thousands of people. There's not a ton of people in Canada. It wasn't packed. I mean, they had a nice crowd.
Well, on
but
18,
it got a little sparse.
They showed, I mean, it was 30 deep, and then they show the ground view of the putt. So he's putting like up the hill, and they have the camera behind him in the gallery right here in the stands. Yeah. And that putt goes in, and everybody just jumps up in the air at the same time. It was so cool.
It was like
it reminded me of the 4-footer Wardo made one day at the Chuck Wagon.
Did you come out in your street clothes and with your
he made it, yeah.
I thought you were going to say the putt Woody made at the U.S. Open.
That was nothing compared to the Chuck Wagon.
Woody made on the 17th hole at the Open. That was one of the maybe the they always talk about Watson's chip in.
Yeah.
I would have rather had Watson's chip, even though it was an impossible up and down from what Tom's told me and a lot of people.
Right.
But, I mean, Gary, you got to have nerves of steel to be able to pull that shot off.
Right. He had to get up over the ridge.
Let me ask you a question, Wardo. If you were there and say you were, what was this, 3 years ago? Woody won 2 years ago.
More than that.
4 years ago he won?
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
19. If you hit a ball there, would you have had the balls to chip it, or would you said, screw it, I'm gonna putt way left and try to just two putt and have a one-shot lead? What would you have done?
5 years ago.
Well, right now, in your prime, under those circumstances.
What's funny is
in your prime.
I actually hit that. I'll just mess around and hit shots off of the green now, and I've gotten better at using the bounce. I haven't gotten better at much, but I would do it. And I think what's not to discount, I think a lot of these people, when we play these soft, soupy conditions, and you try to clip one off of a green, you're gonna just take
I would ruin it.
Massive sod. Where that these greens on the tour and that Poe, it's pretty. I'm not saying it was an incredible shot, but it super firm, so he could work that bounce in there pretty good. But I'd hit the wedge.
What's the trick to that shot? Is it hands forward and you're going more off the toe?
You got to use the bounce.
Or you're using the bounce.
You got to use the bounce. So it's, slight blade open, and people with a shitload of shaft lean on a shot like that are going to struggle, and they're going to either knife it or chunk it. So it's a great way to practice. Actually, I'm sure the greenskeepers wouldn't love that, but it's a hell of a way to practice. Plus, these guys, when they get to a lie that's a Zoysia lie or a nice fairway lie, if you're practicing chipping off the green, then all of a sudden that got easy.
So is the trick all shoulders, taking all wrists, everything out of it? What's the trick?
Pressure left, minimal wrist, a lot of body, a lot of torso, and a lot of speed. And then you just gotta bottom out in the right spot.
So the classic Sully D-cell probably wouldn't go well there.
and the wrist hinge in the cock.
and then followed by a, oh, fuck.
Yeah, trying to lift it up.
Throw me a beer, George.
Seriously, I was supposed to play golf with you yesterday. Mike Adams told me he called you to play with me in the scramble, and you never returned his call.
This is
you saying he never called you?
I never got a call from Mike
Okay,
Adams. I would have been
okay.
honored because you know what? The last time you and I played, this is funny. I pulled up some old pictures. You remember we were playing with Jason Cootie?
Yeah.
So it was me and Cootie were partners. He's like a 28 handicap, I'm a 12. Against you and Brian Bamesberger, another guy who's like a 18. And then it was Tom Watson and Shane Cordes, of all people. Well, I have the scoreboard where the guy's behind us, and it has me at -2, Sullivan, and there's Brett -1.
Oh.
Watson -1.
Is that your lead? Yeah, that was after the third hole, though.
But it ended good. I only lost you by 2, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
All right, hey, another story over
You got to keep that. You got to get
I
that
have it.
framed.
I'll show it to you,
Tell
right?
everybody,
Yeah.
hey, that was on the 18th hole.
Oh, of course. Oh, it was great. It just made my day. Hey, another good story because we haven't even spoken since the PGA Tour. The old Michael Block. The PGA. So if you got geeked up with the event in Canada,
I got pretty geeked up there.
You got to get pretty geeked up.
I got geeked
there.
up.
That was fun.
Yeah, and how about his putt on the 18th hole? It just trickled in.
Yeah,
trickled in.
What?
And then he gets an exemption to go play the next week in Dallas.
And went back to regular.
Yeah, loving over.
Yeah.
Miscut.
Yeah.
Miscut. But what a story. And that, how about when he found out afterwards, they said, yeah, you're playing with Rory tomorrow. And he almost got tears in his eyes. He says, you got to be shitting me. Because he was playing so well. But what a great story.
Right? You would,
Yeah.
I mean, what
Unbelievable. And you know what was so cool? Rory was pulling for him.
He was.
He was really pulling for him. And I guarantee, what's the guy's name? Michael Block?
Michael Block, yeah.
Michael Block, that's a memory that he'll never forget. They showed his club back in Southern California.
Yeah,
It's a public course. Everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
And Dylan, I think his son's name was Dylan. I remember that because my son, I have a son, Dylan, said it was the happiest day of his life.
Had to be.
How great is that?
I mean, the guy's 46 he's 46 public
Yeah.
club pro. I mean, to make a hole in one. You got to be kidding me.
It's crazy.
Dunk it. I mean, I mean that would, the PGA has been really lucky. Because people moaned about all the talent leaving. First of all, the live to me, and I've not really taken an opinion on it yet. But I still haven't had fun watching it. But if you turn on some of these tournaments, you don't have a lot of the big names, right? On the PGA. So you got all the live, which I just think visually, I just think it doesn't look good. I don't like the scoreboard over there. I don't know if I'm watching the Indy 500, right? But then you put the PGA Tour on, and it's like Jimmy Bag of Donuts and Frankie Sandmeass.
But there's a storyline every week. There's a storyline every week.
That's why they got. Yeah, they've been blessed because they're getting these enough for people to watch. Yeah. They got lucky because without the storylines, I maybe it's boring. I don't know.
Storylines are good.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, you want to do a little picks?
Sure.
I mean, George, there's your laundry list of picks to choose from. Oh boy. So
That spill was sponsored.
I'm gonna start this off with we'll start with our prime A player and then we can go dark horse. I'm gonna start this off and I am going to pick.
Do they put like the best player over here?
No.
It doesn't matter.
My pick is going to be Ricky Fowler.
Whoa! Do tell.
He's been in great form all year. Went back to Butch Harmon. He's coming into playing quite well. California kid. I think he's kind of flown under the radar playing well. And he's going to be knocking on the door come Sunday.
Hey, what happened is let's talk about him, all right? Because our boy Scavi was his man. And in a couple late night cocktails, we all had some chats, and he said he thought that maybe Ricky, his distance couldn't allow him to keep up with some of these bombers. Has that changed?
I think he's got enough speed to win. I just think his golf swing that he was struggling with for 3 to 5 years.
How do you work this? this thing.
3 to 5 years, I think that was what was holding him back.
I'm going.
And then now you've got a guy that's hitting it pretty damn well, putting it pretty well, and finishing top 10s quite a bit this year and had a good run. So that's who I like.
Okay. All right.
And that's borderline a dark horse.
I saw it at one of the
What are you thinking, Sully? Who are you thinking?
sites. I think you got to go with the California's boy, Morikawa.
Good pick.
You know, I mean, he's out in his little spot out there. He's done it before. He's got the major. I think he's the guy.
I heard somebody on the broadcast the other day when I was watching golf. They said, what is his name? Tyrrell Hatton. Tyrrell Hatton. They said that he would be a good pick. I don't know who it was, but he reads golf more than I do. He understands golf more than I do, so I'm going to go with him.
Was he the guy I picked for the Masters?
Might have been.
Who told us it was our boy Drew Hinesley, right? Didn't he say he saw? Who was the young guy? Was that Hatton? He's been around for a while.
I don't remember. Yeah, Hatton's been around for a while, but I think Hatton's had some great finishes. He might lose his temper. He's got a short fuse. He might lose his temper with this rough or some of the course setup. But I like that pick out of George. I would tell you he did just come off a great finish. I think he was tied for 4th last week up in Canada. So
I think we picked 3 guys, and we just have a little wager.
Well, we always
The
go
3
with
of
2,
us,
though, George.
But let's do 3, and you add up their scores, and whoever has the lowest score wins.
So we each get 3.
Yeah.
3
all right.
picks?
3 picks.
Yeah.
I'll take.
Well, you went first last time, so you should go last this round.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, that's right.
I'm going to go Scheffler.
Okay, write it down, Sully.
Rolled the dice on that one, didn't you?
Real dark horse.
Yeah, you know, the question is, will Brooks? Will he do it again? He's getting.
You can pick him and let us know.
I know. I'm just not a huge fan. You know, I get the little smirk. I just can't seem to get over. Let's. Why don't we bring in old Dustin Johnson?
You stole my pick.
Yeah. I think old Dustin Johnson might be the guy.
All right, I'm gonna dig into the.
Ricky's plus 5,000.
Morikawa's off the board.
Off the board. It's my first pick.
I'll take Victor Hovland. Coming off a nice win. And caddying in U.S. Open sectionals for his good pal from Okie State. How about that? You win on Sunday.
I know. That was
and
so
then you
cool.
go, you think Woody would have done that for me? No. It's not cool enough.
No.
Which is probably why you didn't pick Woody. This is the first time in
Right.
any of these picks he has not.
Well,
gone with the
it's not
emotional
over
pick.
yet. It's not over yet.
There you go. Dark horse.
Hey, Kevin, I'll trade you my third pick for your first pick this time because I got to take Woody. You
can have him.
Okay, then don't take him. I'll take him.
Well, whose
I heard
pick is
he's
it?
on fire.
Is it my pick?
Well, you went first.
Yeah, it's my pick.
second, third. So I went there. So now you go first again.
All right, I'm gonna take.
That's not how it goes. You know, the last guy's supposed to pick again.
I'm just
and then it goes
gonna
back.
go. Yeah, Snake. I'm just gonna have a live guy on my squad, and we're gonna go with Phil Mickelson.
Whoa. Okay. That's nice. Maybe that's what we should have done. You have to pick one live tour guy. You don't dare pick DeChambeau. He's just. Ooh.
Well, at least he's not wearing that hat anymore.
I'll bleep
I
that
hate
out.
those hats. I hate them. I played in a tournament yesterday, and Greg Pryor, ex-teammate of mine, shows up wearing one of those hats backwards.
And
I go, Pryor, don't wear that. I hate those hats.
What did he say?
He says, no, it's cool, man.
I think I grew
and
up.
Greg's older than I am. It ain't
I think
cool.
I grew up with his daughters
You did. Story, Paige, and Haley.
in chapter.
Yeah. And how old is he?
God, well, he might be my age.
But you can't wear.
Hey, by the way, did you ever wish me happy birthday?
What is it?
It was 3 weeks ago.
I mean, Georgia.
Maybe.
You've
What's
been
the
out of
name?
my
It was
life.
almost 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean,
Do
it's
you know how old I am now, Sully?
68.
The big
70.
70, George. Wow, you've been hiding it. Last time we did this, I think you were 67.
I was. It was a tough year.
Oh my God, 70.
It was really a tough year.
Hey, you're still you're still playing great golf. I mean, you're
Still striping it.
Some days.
You haven't changed a thing.
All right, finalize your picks.
All right, I'm going to go with Rory will be my final.
Okay, and I got Woody.
Okay. All right. What's our
Write
bet?
it down.
What's our bet? Our bet will be the next time we do a podcast.
Add up the
Add them
both,
up.
the
Add them
low
up.
three.
And if you miss a cut, what happens if one of you guys misses a cut? Or if all three of your guys miss the cut, you automatically win.
Whoa.
Wow, because we all picked pretty good players.
Wow.
So that means they all had a shitty 2 days.
Well, you know what they do when you do the Masters app? You get to pick another person, don't you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you would pick the guy leading.
You know, by the way, we never pay our bets when
I know
we
it.
do these things. So
No,
is it
let's
really?
pay.
Are we really betting or are we not?
Let's pay. We're betting.
Yeah.
100 a man.
100 a man. That's
Okay.
good.
All right.
Low
So,
finishers.
final question on the.
So let me ask you a question.
Please.
If my guys shoot, say what happens if one of my guys misses the cut?
So your
So
guys
do we
finishes
take-
90th, 10th, and 10th, that's 110. Add them up. If my guy finishes 10th, 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 that's 30. I win.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Or do we just do total score? Say a guy shoots 20 over, and then the other guy shoots 5 over, the other guy shoots 3 over, and that's
you do the place in which
okay.
they
Place.
finish.
You just add up the
I think
places.
that'd be easy.
So if you have 1, 2, 3, you'd be 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a.
And if you miss the cut, whatever the cut line is, you get that.
Well, it'll say tied for 68th or tied for 91st.
Or it'll say MC.
But there'll be a.
Okay.
It'll be a place.
You figure it out.
But you still have to count that.
Have Turtle
Whatever
do
that
it.
number is.
Yeah. So
Correct.
if you come in 80th place, you get an 80, a 1, and a 2.
I want to see you
83.
right now. Pick up the phone and call Woody, and let's get his take. I mean, because this is important.
He's not going to answer my call.
What do you have?
It's still early.
You're a-
It's early out there. It's 2 hours earlier. It's 4:25. I can't right now. He's getting a massage or a stretch. He's probably stretching, or he's having someone cook him some vegetables.
On his team.
Yeah.
But he's playing good golf, though, huh?
I didn't play with him. I was in Chicago.
He shot 30 on the front nine at Mission Hills. I get it. It's not LACC. 2 eagle chip ins. I'm taking full credit for his putting because they call me Claudashian for the claw and a Kardashian. And I've been clawing it for, 5 or 8 years now. And
He's not doing
he's
not doing the Claudashian claw. He's not way under. He's just like this, right?
He's under.
Is he?
Is he going under
He's
now?
doing a little 3-finger underneath grabber, and I'm going 2. But yeah, he's underneath there, and but he hit some good putts. And
Do you call that the shocker?
I don't know. I think it's the wet octopus reach around.
No wonder why
no,
we're not
he-
on ESPN.
He really putted it pretty. I was pretty impressed. And what happened was he went to the claw, the PGA. He missed a 5-footer. He practiced it a little bit the week before, and he went to the claw. He missed a 5-footer on one, and on the second hole, he just said, "I'm clawing it." So anything that's makeable inside, 30 feet or something he thinks he can make, he claws it. And if it's a long 50-footer, double break, conventional.
Is it cross-handed or
Just
conventional?
normal.
Okay, what's he do when he gets out after the LA Open? Is he coming back home?
No, he's playing Travelers because that's an elevated event.
Okay, so he'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. All right. Well, boys, this has been fun.
What a fun! It's good being back with you
nice
guys.
to be back.
in the studio, back in the States.
And and George, I want to thank you for your patience. As I set up all the shit again, and you didn't put too much heat on me.
Well, normally it's like, okay, we're going to do a podcast. We got to have this guy on. He's calling in at 4:30. We're going to do it remote. We're going to what do they call that? Live stuff.
Live look-in.
No, a Zoom. We're going to Zoom him. And all of a sudden, Sully's here. It's 2 minutes before we're getting ready to start, and he's still going, well, how come this isn't working? And today
That's
you
Sully.
walked in, and it was like 5:20, and we were going to start this at 5:30. And I'm going, Sully, can you ever get this set up on
Well,
time?
I mean, you
we
put a lot
started
of
10
pressure
minutes
on
late, which was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm gonna,
I have big plans tonight.
I remind myself of a bit of Brooks Koepka. You know what he says? He thrives under chaos. And when you walk in this door, you throw chaos on me. You know what? It makes me focused on those wires and pressing the right buttons.
He's the captain of chaos.
Okay, so I got to tell you guys, I just played in the member guest over at Chicago Golf Club.
Ooh.
Unbelievable experience.
Bragger.
Played their Wednesday practice round, Thursday practice round, Friday, Saturday, came home Sunday. And I'll never forget this saying that I came up with years and years ago when I was in Australia. And I was playing golf at Royal Melbourne, and I met this guy by the name of Ian Scholes, and he took me and my son Jackson golfing because he was living in Australia. I went over to visit him, and they ended up setting up a golf match for us. Got rental clubs, we got our little buggies and stuff. And after the round of golf, I turned to Ian and I said, I've never said this before, but I think it's one of my greatest inventions ever. And I said this after every one of my matches with guys in Chicago, and they had guys from all over the country because there's not everybody from Chicago Golf lives there.
Right.
You know, they're from all over, and they come in, bring their buddy. And I said this after every time, and the guy says, God, I'm going to use that line. So I got to share it with you, Sully. I said, okay, guys, we teed off at 1 o'clock today. And I said, we were all having something to drink. And I said, I want to make a toast. And everybody gets their glass. I said, we were strangers at 1 and friends for life at 3:30. And I think that's a great thing about the game of golf.
Yeah.
I've met so many wonderful people in Chicago, and I've met so many wonderful people playing this game that when you really enjoy being with somebody that long, I said it yesterday on the golf course when I played in Brett Saberhagen's Celebrity Scramble tournament. I had 4 guys. 6 hours? No, it actually wasn't bad. I met Mike Adams before, your buddy, and there was 3 guys that I'd never met before. I said it to them, and they said, afterwards, I was getting ready to leave after we picked up our first place trophies, by the way. And we're getting ready to leave, and the guy says, what was that saying again? And I said, we were friends for life. Tea time was 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. No, it was 9 o'clock. Tea time was 9 o'clock. I said, we were strangers at 9, friends for life at 2:30. The guy said, I got to remember that.
I'm looking.
But isn't that a great line?
It is. It's a good one. There was another good one. It was a Ben Hogan one that I put on a little trophy that I created after a men's golf trip, but I can't find it. But, George, it's sort of like how we all came together when Fauci saved our lives. And so Wardo and George and Fauci we trust. I want to publicly give you
thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
I know,
I'll wear it with honor.
I know he's your hero, and hey, we're all alive, and I think
that's right.
What all that matters. All right, well, this was fun. Hey, how about we don't wait another month to do a show? Maybe we'll get right at it and
let's get after it.
We're having a great time. Enjoy the
Let's
US.
not do it next week. I'm out of town, but the week after I'm in town.
All right, then we'll do it. Hope you had fun. U.S. Open. Hope your bets win. Wardo, Sully, and
Is there
George.
a website? Is there a website for this?
USGA.com.
What?
For what?
For our podcast. How, can people send messages to you through this?
Golf Underground.
Yeah, Golf Underground.
How do they do that?
I don't know. They go to our Instagram or our Twitter account.
I think what you should do, Sully, is say, if you guys have any guests, because I think we're up to like 600,000 listeners now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you have any ideas of who you want as a guest, let us know.
I like that.
Let us know.
I like that.
I like it.
But you've got more connections than Wardo.
Wardo's got them all now.
No, I do not.
He's got them all.
All right, enjoy the U.S. Open. Golf Underground. See you in a few weeks.